Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spring Virtual Open House for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at the University of Miami, commonly referred to as OLLI. My name is Dr. Magda Vergara, and I am the director of OLLI. Today, I will present an overview of our program, and you will hear from some of our distinguished faculty, and we will answer all of your questions. Please be sure to use the chat feature on the bottom of your screen to submit your questions, and we will answer them after the discussion. There will also be a brief survey for you to complete at the end of the program, and we'd appreciate your input. OLLI at UM is one of 124 programs nationwide that caters to individuals over 50 years old and who have a passion for learning and want to meet new people. It is a non-degree, non-certificate granting program that is membership and volunteer driven. The members have the opportunity to volunteer and serve on various committees that help shape our program and activities during the year. At the present time, we have 1,400 members that take over 350 courses year-round. Now a little bit about our format. The academic calendar at OLLI is divided into 6 sessions a year, 2 fall, 2 spring, and 2 summer. The classes are typically held at Lau Founders Hall on the UM Coral Gables campus. However, due to the pandemic and for everyone's safety, our upcoming spring sessions will be held remotely via Zoom. Remember that our spring session begins next week, Monday, January 11th, but there's plenty of time to register in the next coming days. Our courses meet once a week for 6 weeks, and our classes are typically an hour and 45 minutes each day, with a few exceptions that include Tai Chi and yoga for obvious reasons. The courses run for 6 weeks, and we have a break in between sessions, and then we begin the following session. All of our courses are taught by highly skilled faculty and professionals, some of whom you'll have the pleasure of meeting here today. As part of the OLLI annual membership, there are many benefits, and I'll touch upon a few of these. You will receive free general admission to the Frost Museum. You will receive borrowing privileges at the Richter Library, and you will have access to monthly OLLI speaker series sponsored by the Directors Advisory Council. So there's lots to do and lots to participate in, even while on Zoom. And now I have the pleasure of introducing you to our host today, Mr. Joe Falwett. Since 2013, Mr. Falwett has made annual presentations as part of OLLI at UM's Great Decisions program, sponsored by the United States Foreign Policy Association. In 2017, he was elected to the OLLI at UM Advisory Council and currently serves as chair. Before moving to Florida, Mr. Falwett co-founded A Nose for Clothes, a contemporary women's fashion apparel chain that expanded to 3 states. He also served in the New York State Army National Guard. Mr. Falwett earned his bachelor's and master's degree in political science from Long Island University. Although officially retired, Mr. Falwett works part-time as a business consultant and as a managing partner in several real estate ventures. He is also an active investor and partner in Nihon Spirits, which creates and imports its own brands of Japanese liquors into the United States, Canada, Europe, and Asia. And now I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Joe Falwett. Joe?
Good afternoon. You know, when I retired, friends would ask, what are you going to do all day? Understandably, who haven't retired yet often fear they will have nothing meaningful to do. But as most retirees know, when the time arrives, there are many interests, activities, and hobbies one can pursue beyond golf and fishing. Not that there's anything wrong with either. Of course, many of us like to travel, spend time with family, hover around the garden, and so on. But For myself, I decided to kick it up a notch, and the rewards have been spectacular. I decided to take classes at OLLI. OLLI stands for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, part of the University of Miami. You have to go through its catalog just once to appreciate the vast list of courses available and how wide-ranging they are. Art, literature, music, foreign languages, history, government, science, photography, Tai Chi, current affairs, and so much more. There are even classes that help us catch up on skills that may have passed us by as modern technology races ahead. Computers, smartphones, tablets, and all the rest. There are social and volunteer events that will give you the opportunity to make new friends and meet new people. Beyond OLLI, there's the great university itself. As an OLLI member, you'll be able to audit many undergraduate courses at a fraction of the cost. You'll have access to the Lowell Art Museum, Richter Library, university gym, humanities lectures, and other university events that attracts your interest. Classes are offered throughout the year in 6-week cycles. Typically, I take 1 or 2 classes each cycle. I especially enjoy learning in the relaxed atmosphere. No tests, exams, or homework. Only gives us an invaluable chance to keep our minds sharp and to learn, as the name suggests, for life. Now, I would like to introduce our instructor panelists. Our first instructor, Mr. Armando Droolers, is an artist, art historian, and educator. He studied at Bard College, the University of Florida, New World School of Arts, and the Academia de Arte Federico Brandt. Mr. Drooler teaches fine art and design, organizes cultural tours, and art and culinary wine events. He also lectures on art, culture, and travel. As a master artist, he teaches art and is a guest lecturer on board celebrity cruises. He has lived in Europe, Latin America, the Middle East, and the United States, and speaks fluent English, French, and Spanish. The next instructor I'd like to introduce is Ms. Brazell Gonzalez. Ms. Brazell Gonzalez covers a broad range of therapeutic modalities incorporating physical and occupational therapy, physiotherapy, and other movement methods. She is trained in Dr. Paul Lamb's Tai Chi programs and certified in yoga therapy, Hatha and chair yoga, sound healing, meditation, Qigong, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Brazell, and Tai Chi. She teaches the Yang 24, Sun and Shen style Tai Chi for energy, and Tai Chi for osteoporosis, diabetes, rehabilitation, memory, and arthritis. Our next instructor is Ms. Joan Nurse. Ms. Joan Nurse has been an instructor for the OLLI at UM Technology program for 5 years. She is also a valuable contributor to and volunteer on the OLLI at UM Curriculum Committee and as a Zoom trainer for our members. She has worked in technology industry for 18 years and worked with Fortune 500 companies in programming and software, both domestically and internationally. In 2000, she was certified in A+ hardware and software at the University of Miami. She is currently working on her PhD at Barry University. Our next instructor is Harvey J Seppler, Juris Doctor and PhD. Harvey Seppler received his Juris Doctorate from the University of Miami and is a seasoned appellate attorney, having litigated over 1,400 civil and criminal appeals spanning a 32-year career. Among his many victories, he has obtained unanimous decisions in both the United States Supreme Court and the Florida Supreme Court. He is a fellow in the American Academy of Appellate Lawyers, one of the country's more prestigious organizations. Mr. Seppler has served as an adjunct professor of law for over 22 years, teaching most of the appellate courses at the University of Miami Law School. Now, we have some questions I would like to direct to our panelists that will give you some more information about OLLI. Harvey, how would you describe your experience teaching OLLI at members?
Good morning, everyone. I hope, can you hear me all right? Joe, okay.
Yes.
Good morning. Thank you very much for the introduction, Joe. As you said, I've been an attorney for many, many years and had a variety of experiences. I also had the opportunity to teach for many years. And quite frankly, teaching is the thing that I love the most. I've taught at Law School. I've taught at Nova Law School. I'm teaching a class at St. Thomas Law School now. But I will say that the experience with the OLLI program and the OLLI students is by far the most fun, actually it's the most educational for me. We cover a wide range of topics, and I will tell you, I know we're going to talk about it more as the program goes on, but I can tell you that the OLLI program and the OLLI students are just bright, and you can't wait to learn. And I get emails and texts from students all throughout the week on this. So in answer to your question, it's been a wonderful experience. And I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to teach along with the rest of the faculty. And hopefully we'll see many of you in our classes.
Thank you, Harvey. Armando, I'll pose the same question. How would you describe your experience teaching OLLI at members?
I think unmute.
All right, we try again. Good morning, everyone. For me, it has been wonderful. I have been for 15 years now at OLLI, on and off, but most every year I've taught there. And I think one of the most challenging things that I love at OLLI, besides all the friendships that I have made, is that the members that assist all of you, including this panel, are all professionals. You have had quite a life, and so it's been very challenging for me and enriching, because I have to speak in front of people that have traveled quite a lot, and people who have had experiences, people who have this love for culture and different civilizations and history and art and so forth. And so it's challenging for me to prepare a lecture every week that is an hour and 45 minutes, and I have to speak intelligently. So I can say that OLLI has been my school and has taught me a lot, and so I have been blessed to have this job for so many years.
Thank you, Armando. Next, Joan, how, if at all, has Zoom changed the way you teach your classes?
Well, thank you, Joe, and greetings to all. Well, I could say a little bit about myself. I have a passion for computers. I have a passion for teaching. I've been doing it for, I'd say, the last 18 years. And believe it or not, I was a nursing student at the very beginning of my college entry. And from there, I moved into computers by a fluke with my brother over the phone. And from then on, I've been teaching, and I think it's a great experience. As you can see right now, we're all using Zoom, and Zoom has been beneficial and challenging in using it, definitely. For the past year, like I said, we're communicating through Zoom. However, we do have some challenges, and with those challenges came great outlooks and things that we can take away, particularly with focusing on communication in real time. The members can speak with each other, and we could see each other and express our needs and what we would look for in the future. Another thing would be immediate reinforcement with using Zoom. We are able to get the ideas out to ensure that we understand the theory and we're able to focus a little better. And another thing with using Zoom, we have the support. We do some brainstorming. Many of the members have great ideas with using Zoom classes. We see members' expressions, and I'm also able to see the learning curve and keeping control of the class. However, face-to-face classes at OLLI is always a great advantage. We look forward to returning to our campus in the future and to help foster the growth and development of our members, and hope to see you in some of our classes this spring.
Thank you, Joan. Rissel, next question is for you. Can you describe your experience teaching using Zoom?
Hi, everybody. Welcome. So yes, it's been interesting just shifting from, being live to Zoom. I think it's been a learning experience for all of us. And I always make jokes and say this is great for our brain because we always want to keep learning and challenge ourselves. So I think it's been a challenge for everybody, but we rose to the occasion and here we are. I love the fact that we can record the classes. I always joke too that I say, I don't know what you guys are going to do when we don't have the recorded classes to practice. Because my students, they take the class live and then they do the class the next day. So that's been a positive, like with everything. And I even see an improvement in their Tai Chi because they're practicing more than just taking the class twice a week. So it's been great. I really like it. We have a lot of support in the university from, our colleagues and everybody. So it's been great.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Harvey, let me get back to you. Do you find that the OLLI at UM members to be engaged participants in your classes?
Yes, I absolutely do. The Zoom thing, as you've just heard, is an interesting feature for many of us. The answer to your question is absolutely. We tend to have quite a number of students in the class. And I will tell you that not only during the class, plenty of discussions, it's very interactive with me and with the speakers that we bring in. And after the class, I get a number of emails and texts because this class is constitutional law. In this day and age that we have, everybody's interested in constitutional law. So to answer your question, absolutely. It's been a real pleasure to teach with the level of students that we have. And so, so this program is marvelous and the Zoom works perfectly.
Great, thanks, Harvey. Armando, what makes the classroom environment engaging? Can you discuss the kind of questions you are asked as an instructor and how they lead to class discussions?
Well, first of all, I love the questions because they make me think in a format about sometimes things that I hadn't even thought about. So it really enriches the discussion when somebody adds something or asks something, and we have to, the way that they ask it, then I have to, reformat my thinking, and it reveals another part of the equation, and so it leads to class discussion. So I love the questions as they are asked, and also the comments, because sometimes I speak about a certain painting in a church, for example, or whatever in a museum, and then there's somebody who will add something else to it, their own personal experience. And so it always adds and enriches the class. So it's really a two-way affair. And I particularly like the Zoom because, for example, the chat. I like the chat because people are always, at the beginning, I didn't look too much at it because I was doing my lecture, but now we often interact in the chat. They ask a question and then I answer it real quick while we're discussing. And so the chat is a great tool. But yes, the class interaction is very important. It makes us all grow. It's a back and forth thing. So thank you for the question.
Thank you, Armando. Joan, why would you recommend OLLI to others?
Well, because I've been an instructor at OLLI for 5 years, and I see the passion that my students have when they come into class, the members actually, and how they express themselves, I would recommend past and new OLLI members to the program um, to stimulate the intellectual brain, to offer at OLLI. Here we have some very skilled professional instructors. For example, we have the art, the history, and my specialty, technology. With that, our members are people that desire to learn in an atmosphere without stress or text or grades. And most members want to experience new creative ways of self-expression. I see that in every class. I notice that people are very happy to come in. They're very happy to interact. I think sometimes when they do come in, they're not really interested in my class. They might be interested in seeing others. So it's a very challenging and interesting atmosphere, and I love it. And I would recommend it to new and past members to always come back, because we have new and refreshing courses that would interest everyone.
Thank you, Joan. And Griselle, can you discuss your teaching experience early? What do you find are the primary qualities of the program and its members?
My experience has been great. You know, I have met a lot of interesting members, and I love all the courses that we offer, because it really covers everything. People that are interested in language, you know, law, art, technology, exercise, and we need that. I think just we all do, you know, to enrich our life, and so it's been really good. There's a strong sense of community too. The people that know each other, you can see that connection that they have built, but they're also very welcoming to new members. Yeah, even in Zoom, like, you know, somebody, I would start a new course and somebody would say, oh, I'm new, and then somebody would jump in and say, oh, welcome, you know, have you tried this class? So there's always that strong sense of community, which is great. And the administration is always there. I work at many different places, and Magda and Caroline are always on it. I always know what's going on, and I love that. And I get calls from members saying, "Oh, you know, I got your phone number from them, and you know, to answer questions." So you have support from your teachers, but also from the administration, which is, I think, very important. So I love it. I love it so far.
Oh, great. Thank you, Griselle. Okay, I'm going to turn the floor over to Magda. We have several questions that came from our participants. So Magda, take those questions.
Yes, we have several questions. One, just in general, I'll answer two of them. One is if we will continue with some courses via Zoom after people return to the Lao Founders Hall, and the answer is yes. We will have some hybrid courses. So some of our courses, for example, that are taught in our biggest room, and we will have them both in person, and also you can access them via Zoom. So that's what we're planning for moving forward. Also, some courses, the professors already have said that they would like to teach them online, so we will continue with those as well. The other question was regarding, are there any free courses? Well, if you become a member, all our courses are at a minimum cost, but then there are also access to shared interest groups, which meet every day at noon, and those are free of charge. Will the $45 cover a full year, or is it for half a year? It's our membership runs from August through July, so it covers that period of time. And if you register today and you're new, then there's a $5 discount. Classes are offered every single day of the week, Monday through Fridays, in block sessions. So we have mornings starting at 10, afternoons starting at 1 and at 3 p.m. In order to, what do I have to do to take classes? Well, you have to become a member first, and then you will can register for the classes. So it's a fairly simple process. And we have another question for Harvey. Which legal related will estates trusts are offered? But Harvey, you want to talk about how you focus on constitutional law?
Yes, thank you, Magda. Yes, our class is constitutional law. It's not real estate. The things that we cover, we go all the way from personal constitutional rights, speech, religion, equal protection, all the way through government. We talk about separation of powers, presidential elections, and things like that. We don't talk. We're an apolitical class, and we don't talk about. In answer to the question, real estate only to the extent that real estate might have some effect on constitutional rights, which doesn't happen that often.
Someone is, well, and then we have other courses just in general. We have a course that does Korean market teaches, which goes through some types of legal issues that you may want to contend with, but it's more of a practical course. So doing a living will and things of this nature. So we have, it falls under a different realm of courses, but we offer those as well. There's another course, a question for Armando. Can you provide us with your thoughts on the overall OLLI program?
Me?
Yes.
Wow, I love it. I'm telling you, if I had more time on my hands, I would actually be taking all the classes over there. And I love the Zoom because the Zoom has expanded us. You know, sometimes I'm talking to someone and I've had Zoom people that are in New York. They drove to New York, you know, and then they're in New York. So it's great, but I don't know. What was the question again, Magda?
Since you've been at OLLI for over 15 years, can you just talk a little bit about what you've seen?
I spoke about the Zoom, but what I miss, Magda, is seeing the people, because you know, through the years, they're like my friends, they're like my family. And so we have a special, it's fun to go in and see it. And like I said, I wish I had more time so that I could, you know, take more classes and enjoy it. But it's just a pleasure to go in there. It's like one big family. Like going back to school, actually, to college, without the beer parties. So yeah, it's been very enriching. I miss it. I hope we can go back to campus soon. I'm sure we will. And I also like the idea of staying with Zoom because it gives you a wider audience. Somebody might be in Weston and it's too far to drive down to UM, so you can still take the classes, you know. But so many relationships and so many interesting people and so many great experiences through the years. I have quite a few students that have been with me for 15 years. Imagine, so that's a long time. Some of them are, they have privileges. They've been there for so long. They have seniority, I guess. So yes, it's been a truly enriching experience. It's fun. It's fun to go there. Yeah.
And I have a question for Harvey regarding your class size. Can you mention something about your class size?
Absolutely. We start out, I've been teaching now for about a little more than 2 years, pretty much a year round. And we started out in the 30s and now we're up to it in the 50s. The beauty of this though, is that Zoom allows you to have a personal contact with everybody. And Zoom allows us also to bring in speakers that we ordinarily might not. I've had White House counsel come in to talk. I've had justices of the Supreme Court. I've had a sitting congressman. So The class size, it's up in the 50s is not a problem, because through the Zoom, everybody feels as though it's just me and them, that person.
Griselle, can you comment about your class sizes?
So when they were live, we had like 20 to 22 people. And now they change. So with some of the exercise classes that are a little bit more still, they're a little bit bigger. We have 15 to 17. And then with Tai Chi, we have between 10 and 12. Tai Chi, there's a little bit more movement. So for example, in the balance class and the fit mind, those are a little bit bigger. With Tai Chi, and somebody's asking also about the arthritis. So we teach it, I move and teach sideways, so you can see the view from the side, then I turn around and I give different views. Because with Tai Chi, it's a little bit better live, just because we have the mirror in the big room. We usually teach it in the gym. So, yeah.
Okay, and there are a few questions regarding how to register and how to become a member. So in order to you have to become a member first in order to participate in the program. As I said, there's a $45 membership fee, and then you have access to all the member benefits, as I mentioned before, and as Joe mentioned as well. And that gives you access to different programs within the university, and then allows you also to take classes at OLLI. And the OLLI classes have additional fees, and fees are from $50 to $125 for 6 weeks, depending on the class that you're taking. And we also have, you can either register online, or you can call us this afternoon, and at the end of the program we will put up the information for accessing our program online, and also for calling us. So we will provide you with the phone number. Our catalog is currently online. Again, you can see all the information for all the classes that we're offering this spring. We're offering 145 classes beginning next week and ending in April. So we have 2-week sessions. In 12 weeks, we'll be offering 145 classes. And then if you're interested in taking a language class, we will put you in touch with the instructor, and you can speak to the instructor, and they will place you in the appropriate class. At this point, we teach Arabic, French, Spanish,
Italian.
Italian. I'm sorry. We had Russian last semester, and we're looking to start Portuguese in the summer. And most of the classes we have multiple series, so you have from beginner, intermediate to advanced, and advanced conversation in all the languages. The classes we have certain classes that continue year round, such as Armando's class, but he changes the topics every week. Harvey as well continues to teach, so does Joan, and so does Brazell. But then we also have new classes that are just, a 6-week session, or are specifically taught in the spring, and others are specifically taught in the fall. So we constantly change the curriculum and look for new instructors to participate in our program as well. Someone asked, I think, Griselle, you mentioned already about Tai Chi for arthritis. And yes, it will be offered in the spring. Griselle also teaches Fit Mind, and also will be teaching yoga starting in the spring. You can see all the classes online, as well in the online catalog, which is dcie.miami.edu. but we will provide again the information at the end of the session in a screenshot. You don't have to become a member to see the courses. You can see the catalog and you can see all the benefits of membership online, and then you can decide to choose to be a member. Yiddish is one of the classes that was taught at OLLI, and the instructor will be teaching that course again once we return to OLLI, to Lao Founders Hall. Someone wanted to know, could each of the panelists state which classes they teach? Armando, can you talk a little bit about your upcoming class?
My upcoming class is going to be focusing on the beautiful city of Naples, Italy, Napoli. And we're going to be looking at art from all kinds of different periods, not only in Napoli, but the surrounding region of Campania, would include Herculaneum and Pompeii and all that. But what I am doing is I am covering the gamut of art history, very ambitious, because we shall also be looking at contemporary artists from Naples. So we're going to kind of take a stroll through the history of art through the ages, through the artists that have created in Naples. Not necessarily, you don't have to be from Naples, but if you are represented in a certain museum, we will be looking at the Madre Museum, which is a contemporary art museum. We shall also be speaking about the art of Pompeii. And so we're going to cover the gamut of art history. Somebody the other day told me, well, you know, that's a little bit weird that you don't specialize. And I always use the story that, you know, there is a reason why Modigliani in the 20th century elongated the artist that he loved so much was Parmigianino, who's a very famous Mannerist artist from Italy, from the Renaissance. And he started elongating the bodies. He started taking liberties with elongation. So that's what you call the Mannerist style. So I have to go back to the Renaissance and speak about Parmigianino if we're going to be speaking about Modigliani in the 20th century. So yes, my classes go back and forth, but we're going to concentrate on the beautiful city of Naples and its surroundings this term.
Joan, can you just say a little bit about your classes?
Thank you, Magna. Yes, for this upcoming spring 1 and 2, I will be teaching cybersecurity. And cybersecurity will enhance your development of the security online and what we're doing and how we're staying safe and ways in which you can conduct your clarity of how to clear out your cache and your history and things like that while using your web browser. With social media and much more. With social media, I'll be covering all of the social media sites and making sure that your site information is private. If you want to go public, if you're a celebrity and you want to be public, you can be public. But basically, we cover the security part and the privacy part of social media, as well as how to work through social media, contact people, delete people within your page. Along with that, the different social media sites that we will be going to will be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I will go into Pinterest. I will show you how you can create your own blog as a user if you have a Gmail account, as well as you have the other sites that might be, say like Twitter, that you might have problems with, or you want to know how to tweet someone and that sort of thing. So the basics of it, and then I go into the security part of social media. Along with that, I cover Apple, things that you might have questions about your Apple devices, I do show you how to sync all of them together, making sure that your phone is working with your iPad. What you see on your phone, what you see on your iPad is the same, as well as knowing the different things that you need to know about the device and if you have problems. So I'm quite aware of the Apple devices as well as the Android. From there, I teach the Google Apps, and Google Apps is all about Google. If you're wanting to know how to become a member of Google, how can you sort your mail, what are the benefits of using Google? And it's very interesting. I did have people that would say to me, I know everything about Google, I just checked my Gmail. And they have been surprised at things that you can do with Google. So that's some of the things that I am teaching for spring. I would consider at least in each semester, I would be covering at least 5 to 6 classes at a time. So when it comes to the spring going into the summer, it kind of whittles down a little bit because most people, they take a little break, they come back. And I do have a following, so I can tell you that I do have some people that if you're in my class, will say, okay, Miss Nurse, you haven't taught that in the other class. So you might hear that sort of thing. So yes, even with computers, you do have a following. So I hope to see some of you registering for my class, or if you have any questions about any of the classes that I do teach, please feel free to contact Caroline, or Caroline can direct to me the question that you might have. So I don't have a problem with that at all. So I hope to see you in some of my classes. Thank you, Magda.
We have a question from someone regarding welfare and health-oriented courses, and someone who, how they can benefit from these. So we have numerous courses on wellness, as I've said. Some of these are actual sort of how to deal with a pandemic. So it's more of a workshop course in terms of how to deal with loneliness, isolation, quarantine. There are a few topics on aging and dealing with family members and being caregivers. So we offer everything from sort of the emotional and mental state of being to the physical state of being. And Griselle can talk a little bit more about her classes since this is her area of expertise. Griselle?
Yes, so I teach generally 3 classes, but spring 1 and 2, I'll be teaching 5 because I'll be covering for Nina, who's a permanent teacher for chair yoga and mat yoga. But the other 3 classes that I teach, Tai Chi, and that's twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. And it changes, so it's not always arthritis. Sometimes because with Tai Chi, it's sequencing, so it's different sequences, like there's the A form, the 24, the 42. So every semester I teach a new form and I add a little Qigong just to go along with it because it has a lot of benefits. Then on Thursday, I teach posture, balance, and mobility. So basically, working the postural muscles, working our balance, and then joint mobility. So it's like an overall class. We use the wall, we use the chair, we use TheraBand, so different things. And on Fridays, I teach Fit Mind, which combines a little bit of Tai Chi, and then it also has exercises. For example, we do something with fingers where one hand will be doing the L, the other one will be, and then you switch. So exercises as like brain gymnastics, we call them. And it's just to stimulate the brain and get the left and right hemispheres to communicate. So that's it.
Thank you. And we also have a manifestation class, and we have other classes, as I said, that help with the overall wellness of our OLLI members. One asked about certificates. The OLLI program is a non-degree, non-certificate granting program. So you cannot change from the OLLI classes to the regular classes. What we do offer is you can audit undergraduate classes at but that program due to COVID is currently suspended and will begin again in the fall. And that's an additional fee. You can take up to 3 college undergraduate classes, and these have to be seminar classes, so you unfortunately will not be able to take language courses or graduate courses. However, we do have Harvey Seppler on our faculty, and he teaches at the law school, so that would be similar to taking his class at the law school. Harvey, do you want to talk a little bit about your class and what topics you'll be covering this spring?
Surely. The goal of the class is not to lecture to you. My goal is to give you a sense of how, from a legal, theoretical, societal way, how to interpret what you read in the newspaper, what you hear on television, and to give you a sense of at least how the courts are likely to look at an issue. Not how they're necessarily going to go, but I think we all do. We teach with great respect to the people that are taking our classes. This is not a fluff class, and it's not a class that you do homework or take tests. It's not like that. You better me, and I better you. So the things that I've been doing so far, I've gone all the way from personal rights all the way to societal to political rights. What I'm hoping to do in the 2 spring terms that I'll be teaching is I want to talk about religion and freedom of religion and what the relationship is to the government and to your exercise of religion of your choice. I'm going to bring in somebody, for example, who argued a case out of Miami in the Florida Supreme Court having to do with a religious case. I'm going to bring in an appellate judge to talk about some of the things that he has seen, talk about the Equal Protection Clause, even outside of that. We're going to move into the criminal area. I've been fortunate enough to handle things from DUI all the way up to first-degree murder. We're not going to do that, but I want to talk. I'm going to bring in a law professor. I'm going to bring in some more judges, and I want to talk to you about some of the issues that are facing the criminal law system right now. For example, I'm going to talk about law enforcement use of facial recognition. Well, this is something that affects all of us. So what we try to do in our class is to give you a sense of when you read something, when you think about something, when you hear something, to put it in a proper perspective and to see how this is going to play out in the courts. I hope that's helpful to you.
And can you mention some of the speakers that you've had in your previous classes?
Absolutely. We've been fortunate enough to have quite a number. As I told you before, I had one of the congressmen from Florida, the United States congressman, come in to speak. I've had justices of the Florida Supreme Court come in to speak. See, that's one of the beauties of Zoom. We can tap into people that ordinarily wouldn't have an opportunity to speak with us because we're going from their offices. I've had judges, I've had politicians, I've had a public defender from Dade County, I've had the state attorney from Dade County, I've had a former White House counsel. I had an attorney from Washington State who was suing Fox News because of what the argument was, with their underreporting of coronavirus. Fascinating, because it opened the door to what media's role is to how it reports to us. I've had an attorney who was suing up in Michigan because his clients didn't like the lockdown that the Michigan governor was imposing because of the coronavirus. So I've had law professors. I've had the dean of the University of Miami Law School come in to speak to us. The list is huge, but that gives you a sense, at least, of the breadth of what we try to cover in the class.
Thank you. Joe, can you talk a little bit about the speaker series?
Sure. We have a wonderful speaker series, which is complementary to our members. It's typically held at noon on the second Thursday of the month. We've had some tremendous speakers. Let me see if I can go down my list here. We've had authors who've written novels, local people. we've covered travels to Brazil, spirit voices, art, culture, myths from the First Nations of the Northwest. Actually, that was given by one of our members who probably has one of the biggest personal collections of Native American art in the country. These are museum quality pieces, and he spoke about his experience and knowledge of Northwestern United States Native American culture. Next week, we are having Adonia Simpson, who is a member of a legal group called Americans for Immigrant Justice. She'll be talking about some of the current issues. We have some upcoming speakers dealing with issues like government security clearance. We'll have some foreign policy speakers. Let me see, we have the two-state illusion, Israel and the West Bank. We have a Harvard professor coming in who will speak about multiple intelligences and the synthesizing mind. It's very diverse and they're enjoyable. They typically last, they're at noon, they last an hour, and we have that those every month as well. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you. There's a question about whether or not we offer creative writing classes, and yes, we do. We have 3 creative writing classes that are taught by Jeannie DeKing, who worked for the New York Times and was a journalist for many years. She has a workshop, one that's given as a workshop, and then one that focuses on creative writing. So yes to that question. And those classes are very popular as well. If you want to receive the $5 discount, you can just call us and I will put the number up and you can register and have your $5 discount applied. We do have OLLI members living outside of South Florida, especially at this time, because many of our members are snowbirds. So some have decided to stay up north, others or in the Midwest, and others have chosen to come back. So we do have people that are who live elsewhere. We formed a partnership last year with the Miller School of Medicine, and we had different faculty. We had a series of lectures that were offered by different doctors from the School of Medicine. This year, again, due to COVID and because they're so overwhelmed with everything that is going on, we are currently not offering that series, but I'm hoping that next year we will be able to offer that class as well. And that covered a variety of topics from illnesses to nutrition, to things that people could do actively to stay healthy. So we've also formed partnerships with different departments at the university. The Frost School of Medicine, the Frost School of Music was also offering music classes for anyone who wanted to, for seniors, anyone over 50. And then we also have a partnership with the Low Art Gallery, and they were offering meditation classes for OLLI members, which were very popular as well. And we will continue to offer those during the year. So as much as possible, we have partnerships with different areas of the university that either they come in as speakers, as Harvey mentioned, or they will also give classes at OLLI for our members. We do not have classes that on animal pet care and medicine, but that's an interesting topic. I don't know if that's somewhere Maybe in the future, you never know. We have a lot of people offering, presenting different classes. Do we have any science, medical, and bioethical classes? We do have some science classes. We've had various classes on the planets, everything from the planets to the environment. We currently have one on the environment and how to protect the environment, and on climate change, and we also have one on ethics and public policy, which is taught by Cynthia Halpern, a distinguished professor from Swarthmore College. And I will now share the screen that has the information for you to contact us. So for the spring catalog and the information for those that were asking, that has a detailed information about our classes, you can visit olli.dcie.miami.edu, or you can call us at 305-284-6554 or 305-284-6720 in order to register and get more information. Joe, would you like to say a few words?
Well, first of all, I want to thank all of today's participants for joining us. I also want to thank our instructors for sharing their time and expertise with us. I look forward to seeing everybody at OLLI. If you have any questions or need help with registration, please contact the OLLI office. Take advantage of the $5 discount today, and please complete the survey you receive in the email. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day, and best wishes to everybody.